the force and the empathy. To be empathic and fully functional seems to be one of the hardest tasks each person is to strive for and achieve in this lifetime. The further we drift away to one side of their conflict, the harder it gets to reside in our own skin. The ease comes once we acknowledge that our feel of the environment and of another human being may serve as a foundation for productive efforts and success. We are all born into the primal cycle of the moon, our divine mother, that signifies the first several years of our lives, and yet, we are also born to materialize in our bodies through the primal scream and the pain of our first breath. The connection of the moon with Mars is best seen in this instance of birth, for this is the exact moment when the two become inseparable and show themselves as a one whole to define our entire future existence. If there is no life without Moon and no life without Mars either, how is it then that we all suffer from their struggle and constantly find ourselves puzzled that one should exclude the other? We may speak of impatient mothers, aggressive ways of mankind, and the birth itself as a disturbed intimate matter that often leaves one traumatized and in some sort of pain or fear of life itself. However, shouldn't it be more natural for us to fully recognize the inseparable qualities of these two entities, if one of them represents our soul and life itself, through the exaltation on the third degree of Taurus, and the other stands for grounding and our life in this body and this lifetime? As babies, we can't really see the world around us, and all we feel is emotion and the impulses of our surroundings combined with our physical needs. This is exactly where our first patterns of denial are established, when our needs aren't met or what we perceive as love comes in someone else's timetable. A baby knows and senses it all, but doesn't communicate as a grown-up, doesn't see, and doesn't clearly show what her specific need is. A mother will try, to a smaller or larger degree, to meet these needs on a hunch and a sensation, but each chunk of time where deciphering is yet to occur shows the inevitable frustration, and even the most caring of mothers need a moment or two to understand the connection of baby's cries with the actual need. It is the time, Saturn, that brings separation, in the end standing as the voice of the universe that defines our fulfillments and goals in the physical world. This is exactly why karma, our destiny and our debts that are to be repaid, are shown through Mars and Saturn in the natal chart. If we imagine our lifetime as a loop that takes us from the point of absolute clarity into the same point in the end, the process may become clearer. Just as the moment of birth connects the dots, so does death, and our soul's resting place comes with the third degree of Scorpio, Mars sign. There seems to be an understanding of these entities that we are not aware of, from the beginning until the very end. Is it the ability of our mind to process our existence that stands in the way of living in tune with the universe, or is it just karma that burdens our soul? With our distorted goggles off and in touch with the beat of the moment we live in, here and now, this division would never be made in the first place. When we look at our situation this way, we can try to incorporate the knowledge in our everyday lives. Our sensitivity doesn't need to separate us from the physical world, our body and our grounding, any more than our ambition and energy are to go over the emotion that sparkles in the depths of our hearts. Compassionate and full of love for ourselves and the world surrounding us, we may be shocked to find that our sensitivity is, in fact, our greatest strength, and we don't really need anything more than an open heart to live fully functional and energetic in the real world that surrounds us. Luckily, this seems to be the deepest truth we all carry within, and we may find it every day if we look into our hearts close enough.